Okay, you can look at me.
According to the Women's Campaign website, more women than men voted in the 2008 election. The actual total was 54% of voters. Although more women than men voted in the 2008 election, one cannot help but notice how few women actually run for political office today. As a women's study minor, I thought this topic was pretty interesting. In one way or another, women affect us, whether it's our moms, sisters, girlfriends, cousins, whatever it is. Women have an impact on society and in our daily lives. So I thought this was interesting, and I thought you also might think this is interesting as well. So in order to understand why so few women actually run for political office, we will first understand what social factors inhibit women from running for office. Secondly, we will understand how inadequate support systems affect women's ability to run for office. And thirdly, how disproportionate media coverage affects women and puts them at a disadvantage in politics. So the first social factor that discourages women from running for office is the gender gap in society. According to authors Jennifer Lawless and Richard Fox in their book, It Still Takes a Candidate, the gender gap is the result from long-standing political patterns of traditional socialization that persist in U.S. culture. Lawless and Fox argued that traditional family roles keep women away from politics. So, for instance, women not only have a job at home where they're more likely to clean, cook, do laundry, take care of children, but they also have a job outside of the home where they actually work for money. So a political career actually comes in third place. So they're more likely to work at home and at work than run for a political career. And it's actually, according to a study conducted by researchers at George Mason University in Virginia and North Carolina State University, women in the United States actually do 70% of housework. So it's obvious women are less likely to put a political career in first place. Relatedly, Lawless and Fox also explain how a gendered psyche is present in women in the United States. They define this as the presence of traditional family role orientations where men are more likely to be socialized to be dominant and assertive, and that's kind of what we expect in the political arena. Women aren't socialized to be assertive and are more likely to be to work at the home. So once again, traditional family roles and cultural expectations of women kind of push them out of the political arena. And this kind of relates to the second reason why women are less likely to run for political office. When women surpass social expectations and cultural values for them, they also have to deal with the fact that they're less likely to receive support, not only from other women, but from men. So one of the things that I thought was interesting to bring up was a survey that I did on my fellow students where I asked them if they believed that women were encouraged to run for office. And 100% of them believed that women were encouraged to run for office, and it's not exactly the case. According to a study done by Anne Kornblatt, she's a very prestigious journalist who writes for the New York Times and Washington Post. She actually has a book called Notes from the Cracked Ceiling, What It Will Take for a Woman to Win. So she explains that women aren't any less likely to win political office, but they're just less likely to run for political office. She explains that they're not encouraged to run, whereas men were prodded into the political arena by their mentors, their family members, elders, party officials. So this correlates with the fact that men are more assertive and dominant, whereas women are not. So going back to Lawless and Fox in their research, they found that if a candidate is encouraged to run, they are 45% more likely to win or run for office just because they were encouraged to do so. So whether or not women are encouraged to run for office or not, there's still one more hurdle to overcome, and that's the media. So by understanding how women are negatively portrayed in the media, we can further see how women are discouraged from running for office. So the first reason why is that because women are gender stereotyped in the media. According to Rainbow Murray in the book Cracking the Highest Glass Ceiling, women are stereotyped in the media as being warm, gentle, kind, and passive, whereas men are viewed as tough, aggressive, self-promoting, assertive. And what this kind of does is, although both of those stereotypes are good and positive, the masculine traits are considered to be more appropriate for executive office. This places women in a difficult position because they are associated with the wrong skill for political office, or the wrong skills for being a president. So even if they possess and promote the masculine traits of being assertive, dominant, and tough enough for the position, they will still be viewed unfavorably because it is assumed that these traits come more naturally to a man. Third, women will be penalized for straying too far from expected gender roles. So it's almost unbelievable that a woman could be president because she should be at home with the family. Another reason why women are less likely to run for office is because they're framed in the media. Women receive less media attention because the media coverage that is given to women is focused on their appearance. What was Sarah Palin wearing this weekend? Look at her haircut. This kind of media attention isn't really garnered by men in the media. So when the media focuses on the appearance of a woman, they're not covering what's actually important, and that's their political agenda. So women are less likely to receive coverage, and so that means that voters and constituents don't take them as seriously. They're concerned with their appearance, not with what I'm paying in tax dollars. So this kind of puts a damper on women's seriousness in running for office. So it's obvious to see how much of a disadvantage women are in running for political office. So it's no wonder that women are less likely to run than men. Once again, the three reasons why women are less likely is because of traditional gender roles, such as a gender gap. Secondly, they are less likely to receive support. And thirdly, women are disproportionately covered in the media. So I wanted to leave you with an important piece of information that's women in the Senate only represent 18%. They're only 18% of the Senate seats, so it's kind of disheartening and discouraging. It's important for me and you to kind of take this information in stride because it's important that our society represents everyone. Women represent 51% of the population, but we hold 18% of Senate seats. So that's not really exactly equal representation in politics. So there you go.